Plans to increase minimum wage in Maryland are ramping up. This week, Maryland's Governor Wes Moore touted the move in recent years to $15 an hour. And now the organization One Fair Wage is calling upon the state of Maryland to continue those increases. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay is live in Ocean City. Kevin, people could expect a substantial increase by 2030.
Charlie, the legislation put forward could increase the minimum wage in Maryland to $20 an hour by the year 2030, and that would also include tipped workers. Kirby DeSeveria owns an Italian bistro in Ocean City and has seen the minimum wage increase throughout his time in Maryland, and says if it goes up anymore, there could be negative consequences for him and his business.
All foods, goods, and services, they're raising their prices for the employees, so now it's costing me more to bring that food into the store. It's costing me more to prepare that food, and all that has to transfer onto the menu cost or we're out of business.
During Governor Wes Moore's State of the State address this week, he spoke about the state's accomplishments of raising the minimum wage from $13.25 an hour to $15 per hour. And now the organization One Fair Wage is calling upon the state of Maryland to continue those increases to $20 an hour by the year 2030. And to phase out the two-tiered wage structure that currently pays tipped workers just $3.63 an hour. According to the One Fair Wage organization, the legislation proposed will also provide tax credits for small businesses to provide a smoother transition. Although the legislation includes tax relief for small businesses, DeSeveria believes this will hurt customers more at the end of the day, leaving businesses no choice but to raise their prices to make sure their doors don't close for good.
2030, do I think it's going to affect our area as much? No. It's just going to affect your decision on whether or not you can afford to eat out.
What happens next remains to be seen. Some argue higher wages could mean higher prices or even fewer staff. Now, if the legislation does pass, it'll then go up to a vote on November 2026 for the Maryland voters to decide if it becomes law. I'm Kevin Zapay, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, should tips be taxed in Maryland?
Let's take a look at the updated results from the last news hour. Take a look at your screen. You can see 71% saying no, workers need it. 24% say yes, like any other income, and only 5% saying only for high earners.
If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app. We'll show you updated results on Coast TV News at 11.